Cool. So, um, such an appropriate introduction. So thank you guys for having me on the call. First off, if you guys don't have a pen and paper, I'm going to give you guys some really specific action steps tonight that you guys can start applying immediately into your business. Smart entrepreneurs always take notes. I learned that from Chalene Johnson. Normally I love having slides. They're kind of my jam. But tonight I kind of just felt really compelled to be able to see your guys' faces and to be able to get some feedback from you guys while I'm talking. So I just have a few notes in front of me. If you guys see me, just look down. I just have a few bullet points to make sure that I don't go off on a tangent and get too far away from my point. But I will hold up my newly printed sign tonight. I felt like this is fairly appropriate for all my calls. If you guys do not have headphones in, I do not put a filter on my face when I talk. So if the F word flies out and your 3-year-old is next to you and starts saying that, you can't blame that on Auntie Andrea. I warned you, put your headphones in. So I wanted to just start out with sharing a little bit about who I am, how I started coaching before we jump into the tips. Just if we have any newbies on here so that you guys can get a feel for where I was when I started my business. It's really important that when people hear the really incredible accolades that I have earned and my team has earned over the last almost 5 years, that you guys really know where I started. And that was that I'm a military wife and we had just moved into our new home. The Army had just PCS'd us, which is a fancy military term for just moved our asses across the US. And my house was literally still in boxes. It was the worst timing to start a business. But I think if anybody's a parent, like you guys know, there's never a good time to do something that's going to change your life. Like I was just talking to my success partner today who's pregnant, and she's like, am I really ready for this? And it was like, nobody's ready for any of these big things that come into our life. It's a matter of just like rolling with the punches, and you build your wings on the way down, just like we do as parents. It's the same thing with our business. When we started, we were $100,000 in debt. So I had to put this business on a credit card. Completely and utterly stressed with a huge weight of debt on our chest, and also being a military family, constantly moving. And this tough part for a military spouse is that to find your identity and to hang on to that can be extremely difficult when you're constantly moving in the Army, or any military branch is dictating to you where you have to live and when you live there. So I had kind of been desiring, I don't even know that it was necessarily like a verbal prayer, but just had this craving for community, for women empowering women. Like, man, you guys have no idea. I was raised with like the biggest like feminist girl power grandmother ever to walk the earth. I wouldn't necessarily call myself a feminist, but I'm very much all about like women empowering women and really reclaiming your identity, especially after you become a mom. And so having that kind of creative being, and then also me being like a really to the bone free spirit type of person. I want to try all the foods. I want to visit all the places. I want to talk to all the people. And I'm 100% an introvert, but I crave experience. And so this business was kind of served to me on this, really interesting silver platter. I never realized I wanted to be a top network marketer when I was growing up. Like, you don't fill out a form for that in the guidance counselor's office when you're trying to figure out what you're going to go to college for, right? So it was non-traditional. It didn't really make sense to me, but me looking at what other people had done in this business and realizing that there was this ache that I was missing, and who knew what would happen. I came into it and I said, okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and give it a try. And today, I hate the word try, because you either do or do not. It's just decisions. But back then, I just needed that. That was where I gained my confidence of, I'll just give it a try and see what happens. It took me all of about 2.5 seconds to fall head over heels in love with the community that we have to offer with Team Beachbody. And when I was speaking at Summit, I asked everybody to raise their hand and respond to the question, have you ever experienced a community as supportive and empowering as Team Beachbody? Raise your hand. And every single person that I could see, at least in that 6,000 person audience, raise their hand. It's special. It's something that's how I sold the business in the beginning. I didn't know what the hell network marketing was. I didn't have any clue what genealogy meant or what my left and right leg or team cycle bonus. All of that stuff just made my head want to explode. But I did know that the community was like everything to me, just this supportive network of people who didn't even know me and they wanted me to succeed. I was like, man, I really stumbled onto something that's very special here. And I sold the business exclusively off of that. I went diamond in 40 days because I was so passionate about what I knew that I had in my hand, that I knew other people were going to want to be a part of that with me. And just so you guys know, like, not only did I come into this business with $100,000 worth of debt, I also did not have a college degree. I was a teenage pregnant mom. I came from a background of drugs and alcohol, all of these things stacking up against me that should have said that I should be on welfare for the rest of my life. And I should also be divorced, considering I got married so young. Well, I'm not on welfare. Paid off $100,000 worth of debt, and I just celebrated my 13-year anniversary. We tend to cling to these things that other people tell us that we should be, these beliefs. And if you guys argue for your limitations, you get to keep them. Write that down. If you argue for your limitations, you get to keep them. I chose not to argue for mine. I chose to create a different belief about who I wanted to be as a mother, as a wife, as a woman in this world. And that turned out to be a top Beachbody network marketer. Who would have thought? So here I'm going to go ahead and get started with my tips for you guys today. And that kind of leads into my very first one, is that when I was selling this business in the beginning, just the opportunity for coaching, I just believed that if this changed me at my core so quickly, that other people were craving this too. I wasn't out there trying to get diamond because I needed that. I needed that to stroke my own ego. I did it because I realized that there's so many other Andreas out there who had that craving, that desire for something more, that's just something missing in their life. And it was my obligation to share this community with them. So the first tip is that you have to believe that there are people that are looking for you. It's not selfish to go out and share this business. I can't tell you how many coaches that I just want to shake because they're afraid to go talk about the business because they're afraid of what other people will think of them. Fuck, that is not about you. It's about them. They're looking for you. They might just be Andrea that didn't know that this desire that they had was coming to them in the form of network marketing. Had I been closed-minded to it in the beginning, I would not be living the incredible beyond blessed life that I am today. But I know that my job has just barely gotten started. I had a girl who just messaged me right before this call who just signed up for my sneak peek, and she said, oh my God, I can't believe this. I'm so excited. I can't wait to start working with you. Thank you so much for this opportunity. And she said, you probably get tired of hearing that, don't you? And I said, sister, the day I get tired of hearing that is the day that I'm just going to hang up the towel and give up. Like, that is why I'm here. That is why I work as hard as I did on day one, still today, 5 years into this business, is because there are people out there looking for me and they need avenues, and I need to step up to the plate so that they can find me. I need to start those conversations. I need to be present on social media so that we have some kind of conduit or way for us to be able to connect. People are looking for me. They may not know that they're looking for me, but they're looking for what I have. They're looking for the lifestyle that I have, whether it's through health and fitness or the financial element of this business. Number 2, write this down. It's not what you can get, but what you can give. I know that we need specific metrics to be able to grow this business. We need to have Success Club because we need to have some kind of aim. We need to have an idea as far as how many people we need to talk to and be able to grow the business. And those numbers are important because they just give us small benchmarks to make sure that we know that we're on the right track. But it can become this very tempting, slippery slope, knowing that we need Success Club points to move our business forward, knowing that we need new people to add to our business to move up and rank, to start focusing on our own personal needs. And then we start to resist wanting to invite because now we're so focused inward that we forgot that we're actually just here to help people. So it's not about what you can get, but what you can give. So when you're having that one-on-one conversation with someone, or when you're posting on social media, I need you to let go and let it out of your mind about how many Success Club points you may not have for that month, or if you might need that one last coach to hit diamond rank, or if one of your coaches needs one last coach to hit diamond rank and you finally hit 1 star. It is not about what you can get, but what you can give. When you focus on being a giver, people naturally want to have that energetic exchange with you. It just happens. But if you're so focused on looking at other people as a Success Club point, then it starts to feel icky. You start to resist your business. You will find excuses not to work your business. We all know it. Like, there's certain, you guys, I have a lot of excuses of why I have not folded that freaking basket full of laundry sitting in my room. I have so many great things that I could be doing with my time that have nothing to do with folding laundry. But the reality is that when my space is in order, I feel more focused and energized, but I find other excuses not to do it because it doesn't feel like it's going to serve me anymore. And when we're so focused on us and what other people might say about us and what we may or may not get in return from them, we really, really take ourselves out of the present situation and having those really life-changing and fulfilling conversations with people where you share something and they may or may not take it. Your intention should be just to give without expectation. Give in a private conversation, give through social media without expectation. Because the more you become a giver, the more the universe wants to give back to you, the more other people want to do business with you because you gave to them without having Success Club points written in your eyes. It makes me think of the movie Aladdin with the monkey where he's going after that red gem and his eyes get like beady red. We're all good people. But every once in a while, we just shift our focus to the things that don't serve us or don't serve other people. And when we're focused on the experience and not the results, we get far better results and we help people. So your number one job is just give, give, give without expectation. Now, we do have a small caveat to saying that. Sometimes coaches interpret that to mean that we should never make an ask, meaning we should just wait for them to come to us, and if they want it, great. If they don't, but I'm not going to ask them because if I'm asking them, that means it's about me. That's not true. You should always make an ask when you can tell it's the right time, but not for your own personal gain. I can tell when someone needs a life change, when someone needs me to ask that question, just by having simple conversations with them and asking them questions about themselves. If they're so tired of missing vacation every single year, if they're so tired of living paycheck to paycheck like I was with my kids, if they're so tired of missing, being able to go on field trips and having those moments, or tired of just being able to, have you guys ever had a dinner with your spouse or your significant other where you were more worried about what the check was going to say rather than sitting there and just being present with them and really enjoying their company of like the love of your life? We had so many experiences where I'd be looking at my husband like, don't order that because that's too expensive, and don't order alcoholic beverage. Can you just have water with ice? Like, who wants to live their life that way? Shit, that sucks. But that was how we were living for a long time. So I can tell, and you guys can too, just by being a good listener and a good question asker, when people need you to make that ask. They're a little afraid, or sometimes people think, well, I couldn't do that. They have these these notions in their head that they couldn't do what you do and they need you to tell them otherwise. So Remember, it's not about what you can get, but what you can give. And when you give this business opportunity, it's still not about those Success Club points. It's still not about a stupid $40 commission, because 5 years from now, you guys, every single person that stays consistent in this business, $40 will not change your life. It won't. You could give me $40 today and I would be like, let me go give this to someone else. And I don't say that to make anyone feel uncomfortable about money. I say that because this business has beyond blessed us, and $40 doesn't change my life anymore. So I don't care if people say yes, I don't need that 40 bucks. Thank God. I need them to invest that money into themselves. That's what it's about. It's not about that small commission. When you guys think long-term and you have that conversation, imagine and position yourself as someone that's been in this business for 5 years, and you're making, you know, a 5-figure monthly income. How would that change your life? And how would that change your position when you're talking to people? How would that change how would that change the exchange that you're having with that individual? Would you talk differently to them? Would you be more confident? Would you not care if they said yes or no? You wouldn't. You just want them to say yes because it's going to change their life, not because it's going to change your life. Number 3, this kind of goes hand in hand with number 2. If you guys focus on the 4 vital behaviors, the result is going to be Success Club. The result is going to be rank. But you can't focus on Success Club or rank, or it starts to create the anxiety of not being able to make it, oftentimes with a lot of people. So instead of focusing on the result, focus on the behaviors. The 4 vital behaviors are not vital because they're suggested. They're vital because your business will die and suffocate without it. So inviting, being proof the products work, personal development, recognition, all 4 of those are necessity. And social media I look at as another vital behavior, but I feel like that goes hand in hand with inviting. It's a piece of that. It's an element of the well, we'll get into social media in just a second. So your focus throughout the 30 days of the month is use your own timeline as your own personal accountability. Share what's working for you. Doing your personal development every single day, not every other day, not once a week, every single day. In this business, if you start to feel stuck, it's probably because you're slacking on doing your own workouts or your personal development. My new coaches, I just try to beat into them lovingly that your biggest focus is you. It's your being your best self. Like, kill it with your workouts. Be amazing with your nutrition, because when you feel good, you can't help but want other people to feel good with you, right? That's where the organic process of wanting to share this business with other people is, because when you wake up every day with energy, with hope, with excitement, you want other people to like be smoking that freaking crack with you, right? Like, you want other people to look at you and be like, what is she smoking and where can I get some? Like, I want a little piece of that. I'm not promoting drugs here. I'm just saying that that's like what you guys want to exude, so other people want to participate with you. And number 4 is it kind of goes along with number 2, which is it's not about what you can get, but what you can give. But this is specifically for social media. When you guys look at your social media accounts, there's 7 days a week. So you guys need to be value. I know Gary Vaynerchuk preaches jab, jab, right hook, but the reality is if you guys give 6 days of genuine value, you guys have done a couple of things. You guys have raised your level of influence, because when you go out and you reteach something that you just learned, or you share that you have found a way to become more accountable to yourself, your health and fitness, or anything that someone else might have a struggle with, when you share something entertaining or inspirational, people go online to learn 2 things or to consume 2 things: entertainment or education. That's it. If you guys provide that, you just became a source for entertainment and education, the 2 things people want, which means you raised your level of influence. The other thing that you did was you're now viewed as a connector. So you're connecting people from something that they wanted before and they didn't know how to get, just by sharing what you're doing. Whether it's health and fitness and you're sharing this workout, where before you thought that you had to spend an hour in a gym and then you realized that T25 changed your life and you can get your workout done in 25 minutes or 22 minutes with 2-minute hardcore. You just became a connector with someone, showing them that this is where I was before, this is where I am now, and this is how Beachbody served that. Now, you guys don't only want to do that with just Beachbody stuff. You guys want to do that with everything. I connect people with personal development books that changed my life. I might connect someone with a competitor of mine because I feel like that person might be able to serve my prospect more than I can. And I will happily give away business for the benefit of the person that really needs the help. If I don't believe that what I have is truly going to serve their highest good, I connect them with someone that will. That also raises trust and influence, because I'm not here for me. I'm here for them, right? So when you guys are giving value 6 days a week, and every single week you guys make an offer, I find that sometimes people can get really good at the value because it feels good to give, right? But then we start to be a little bit concerned about the offer of like, is it okay for me to post this? Have I earned my right yet? Who am I to do whatever? The reality is, again, your offer is a gift because you're connecting people with products or services that could solve a pain point in their life. That's all we're doing. We're alleviating people's pain points with our products and services. My pain before was that I was considered to be what you'd call skinny fat. I was lethargic. I was super foggy brained, massive like ADD going on, couldn't focus on anything, like super squirrel situation going on, and also struggling with hypoactive thyroid and coming from a background of having eating disorders. So hot mess express. And Beachbody helped me in so many different ways. The container system solved the anxiety that I had over having to count calories, carbs, fats, points, anything like that, because then I would become obsessive and I would slip back into those things that created the eating disorder situation, or that would foster that environment for me. Being able to just fill a container and eat it, I can do that. That solved a problem for me. That alleviated pain in my life. Therefore, I'm going to go share that so I can hopefully alleviate pain in other people's lives too. That is a gift, and that is your obligation to share. So that's why you guys are going to have one offer every single week. Pick the same day to do it if you want to, but every 7 days you guys should be offering. It could be you're offering a free group. It could be you're offering a sneak peek into coaching. It could be you're offering a challenge group. It could be you're offering whatever you want to, but one offer every 7, or we'll say 7 to 10 days, but it's easier when you do it on the same day of the week. Sunday nights are great for offers. So putting it out on a schedule is going to really, really serve you guys, help you stay focused and know when it is time for you to go out there and to offer something or make an ask. And you guys are going to find that more and more often people, they're going to come to you, and it's going to be easier for them to say yes because they already know, like, and trust you, because you've raised your level of influence by being a giver, by being a connector, right? Number 5, this is, I feel like, a little bit of my secret sauce, to where when people come to me and we have a private conversation, I also get a faster yes with people. Not always, but it starts to become a little bit faster and faster because people need, I think it's around like 7 or 8 exposures of something before they're going to decide that they're going to commit to it. So if you guys post 3 testimonials a week on your page, or 3 transformations. That transformation could be a mindset transformation that you can thank Beachbody for. That could be a physical transformation. That could be a financial transformation. I just did one today, sharing that one of my brand new coaches just signed up, and she got her very first paycheck that was her own in the last 10 years because she's been a stay-at-home mom. How amazing! Like, what a boost. It was probably $80. But what the heck? That's like her first money that she earned in a decade. That's a big deal. So I shared that. There's other stay-at-home moms that haven't collected their own paycheck and had that level of independence and that hope of feeling like they can also contribute to their family. That's a big deal. Other people are going to connect with that. Physical transformation, you guys could do this on a schedule if that works really well for you, but just consistency is what matters the most. So you guys could do like a transformation Tuesday, throwback Thursday, working into your schedule however you want to, just be consistent, 3 transformations a week. Or whether it becomes the physical, financial, or mindset, any kind of transformation that you can relate back to Beachbody. And here's the trick. You always have to share the story. You can't just post a picture of someone and say, like, here's the results that they got. You need to share, like, what their experience was, whether it's someone from your team or your own. You want to have a nice mixture of both. In the beginning, it's more about your own transformation. Later on, it's more about the transformations you help other people get. But 3-week transformations, because now you're planting seeds and answering the 2 main questions that people have when it comes to making a decision for this business. Those 2 questions are, does it work? And will it work for me? You just answered 2 of those questions by consistently sharing 3 transformations a week. They know it works because they can see it. And will it work for them? They know that because they connected through the story you shared. They might relate to that story. And the story does one really powerful thing for you and for them. It builds a me too. Write that down. Your job is through story to build me to's. So when people read this story, what that would look like is if I shared, for example, the fact that I was $100,000 in debt, I had teenage pregnancy. Those are just a couple pieces of my story that I know a lot of people relate to. I get people reading my story and they say, I'm in a lot of debt. I had a teenage pregnancy. Me too. That just built trust. People do business with people they like and people they trust. And when you build me too's through stories, people are going to trust you and they're going to trust the products and the opportunity. This is so important, you guys. If you guys just nail that one piece, you guys are going to be on fire, I swear. Okay, number 6 is pick 1 platform or 2 if you're already super comfortable with one, but don't overdo it, because when you spread yourself too thin, you don't get great results. And be just insanely consistent on social media. If you guys want to make your job easier, raise your hand if you would love it if all your new coaches and your new customers came to you. That's so, right? Makes it so much easier. Now, I can't say that every single person that I work with came to me, but I can tell you that the larger percentage of my business that is how it works now, because I show up on social media all the time. People can get a really strong idea within at least my most recent 5 posts who I am and what I'm about, and they either decide they like me or they don't. Some people unfriended me as soon as I started using or saying fuck on Facebook. And I got a couple nasty messages. And you know what I said? Bye, friends, you're not my tribe. The more I was myself and who I am, because I don't want there to be a discrepancy. If you meet me in person and I'm not the same person that you see on Facebook, that doesn't serve either of us, right? I want to be honest. I don't want people to ever be able to say that I was this like filtered version of myself. So I want people to see who I am. If I have a conversation with you, guaranteed you're going to hear the word butt come out of my mouth at least once, probably 12 times. I don't know. Follow my Snapchat. You'll see. At least once every 10 seconds on Snapchat. But the point is, I'm not telling you guys all either like go swear on social media. I'm just saying, like, you guys want people to get like a really sincere idea or indication as far as who you are. And if they don't like you, that's okay. They're going to go find someone else that they do connect with, because your job is not to connect with everyone. Your job is to connect really well with a small group of people that you're going to be able to really help. And if I dealt with people that were really offended by my language, and I'll actually tell you guys why I haven't cleaned up my language, because there is a little bit of like psychology behind it. But if I had people come to me and they talked to me on the phone and they heard like the F word come out of my mouth and they had never heard that before and they were just like, who is this person? I don't want that to come up after they've signed up. I want them to already really know who I am and either like me or move on to someone else before they sign up and waste their money and time with me. right? I would rather they work with someone else that's going to be more of a connection to them. The other reason that I have been really intentional about not cleaning up my language on social media, especially, is because I learned through Tony Robbins that when you use taboo language, it jars people and it grabs their attention. So every time I say the word fuck, you guys pay really close attention to me because it's very taboo in our society, right? Or every time I use any kind of language that might feel uncomfortable. It's not because I want to sit here and make anybody else feel uncomfortable. I don't. I want to honor you, and if that's not the language that you want to use, that's okay. But I do continue to use it intentionally for that one very specific reason. It's because I want to jar you and I want to keep you present, because otherwise our minds get squirrely and they like to wander off and stop paying attention. So it's not to offend anybody or to not honor another person, because if you guys know me well enough, you guys know that's not my style. Number 7, we kind of already touched on this, so I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but just remember, use your timeline for your own personal accountability. If you guys want to attract rockstar coaches, you have to be that rockstar coach first. Complete a program, do your personal development, drink your motherfucking shake, right? These are just a few things that are so simple, yet it's easy to do and it's easy not to do. Common sense is not always common practice. If you guys want to attract rock stars into your business, you have to be that rock star first. And it starts with just showing up online and showing people that these products work. That's the very first thing. Be the person that's like blazing that path first and saying, I'm going to go first and I'm going to invite you to join and follow me. But I promise you, I'm going to show you first that this works, so that you can trust me and you can believe in the product. Number 8, I don't know if Carl says this enough. I feel like he probably could say it a little bit more, even though it comes out of his mouth like every single video. You guys, the 30-day return policy is gold. And not enough coaches use that in conversations. When people message me and they're like, is Shakeology really worth it? You want to know what I say? I don't know. I've been drinking it for 5 years. I think it's worth it, but it has a 30-day return policy. Why don't you see if it works for you? Just because it works for me doesn't mean you're going to love it, but give it a try. Who knows? I don't have to sell them on anything. I don't have to tell them all the ingredients in Shakeology. I don't have to be a salesperson. It is okay to use the words I don't know to people. It builds trust when you're honest, because I don't know if it's going to change their life the way it changed mine. There's no way I could say that. I could just use my own testimonial and say, I've been drinking it every day for 5 years, dude. Clearly it's working for me, but give it a try. Drink the whole bag. Drink every freaking serving of it. And if you're not in love like I am and you don't want to drink it for another 5 years like I do, send it back. No hard feelings. I don't give a shit. Because it's not about the money. It's not about me. It's about you, right? And then number 9. This is so important, and I think that we all have to, not just you guys, but me too. This life lesson that I learned and I try to instill into my children, because I feel like they are a little bit more moldable right now, is this one lesson that was like everything. It just hit me like right in the gut, right in the heart at the same time. And that is the lesson, what is for you will not pass you. What is for you will not pass you. So if someone comes to me and they're like, Andrea, I know we've been talking for like 6 months, but I just feel super connected to this person. I think I'm going to sign up with them. You know what I say? Bye. Good luck. And I mean it. Good luck. I really hope you get everything you're looking for. And I mean that from the bottom of my soul. I'm not being like a smart ass, like, good luck, asshole. Thanks for wasting my time for the last 6 months. I really mean it. But the other thing is I know that the people who are always meant to work with me, they'll find me. As long as I keep putting myself out there, there's that give take with you taking a step and then the next one will appear. Those people are going to start to show up in my life. And you guys have no idea how many messages I've gotten from people that are like, I don't even know how I found you, but I feel like I've known you for forever. I don't know who you are or what you're about, but I just feel like I'm supposed to be talking to you and I don't know why. And I'm just like, I know why. Because what is for you will not pass you. It's going to show up as long as you're willing and ready to receive. You have to be open for it. You have to be taking the steps, right? So whenever you guys start to get tempted of like, oh, what if I lose this customer? Oh, what if I have a Facebook group going on right now that's, I really started it because I love to talk about like my spirituality and money. I love talking about money because I feel like women get way too uncomfortable with money. I know I did for a long time, but now I love to talk about like saving and investing and like manifestation and all these things. Like money is a fun topic. I could talk for hours and hours and hours about it. So I started this group as a way to talk about it, provide free value, but also use it to expand my network. And then I started getting like a million requests from Beachbody coaches. And one might be tempted to be like, no, what if they come in here and they steal my prospects? Guess what I did? Accept. Every single person that requests to join that group, even if they're in It Works, I let them in because I'm not afraid that they're going to steal someone, because I know what is for me will not pass me. If I was always meant to work with someone, I will. If I was never meant to work with them, I won't. So I don't believe in competition. Beachbody coaches are not my competition. It Works, any other network marketing company, none of them are my competition. And sometimes I'll lose people because they fell off. They didn't know what the hell they were doing or thinking. And then they come back to me and they're like, I wish I hadn't done that. And I'm like, I'm still here, dude. Ready to work with you if you're ready to work. But sometimes people just have to learn that lesson of working with the wrong person before they remember who the right person was always to work with. But I don't care. I'm going to let them learn that lesson, and I'm not going to take it personally. And then the last tip for you guys is the word patience and the word joy. So Gary Vaynerchuk, if you guys were at Summit, were you guys at Summit? Raise your hand. Sweet. There's a ton of you guys there. Okay, raise your hand if you're going to be there next year. Everyone should have their hand raised, unless you're sleeping right now, in which case, no, just kidding. I was going to go somewhere very dark. I'm not going to go there. No, I'm kidding. So you guys, I can't control what comes out of my mouth. Patience and joy. I'm getting back on track. Patience, there's a really great quote in the book that I'm reading. And the quote was, great inventors never got bored with their work. Therefore, they didn't care how long it took them to get there. And they also had fun in the process. Building a business is hard work, but it doesn't have to be painful. That's your choice. The experience you have in the process is your choice. So when you make the decision to either build from a place of like stress and frustration and fear, you're really actually going to delay your results. But if you focus on joy, that one word is actually, if you guys look up, I have like this, I caught it when all the Christmas stuff went on sale, but it's like this big bright letters with little Christmas lights in it, and it says joy. It's in my office on my wall. Check after Christmas time if you guys are looking Bed Bath and Beyond. But it's just a constant reminder that's always staring at me. Whatever I do with joy. I teach this to my kids too. Jackson, go clean the kitchen. But Mom, whatever I do with, and my kids will finish the sentence for me. Yes, Mom, joy, right? I want my kids to know, like, sometimes we have to do stuff that isn't necessarily like what lights us up, but shit has to get done, right? Like the dishes still have to get cleaned. I still have to manage all the receipts for my business. Numbers when it comes to like receipts and accounting, stuff like that. It's not my jam. It's not what like lights me up. It's the conversations and empowering people and elevating other people. It's that connection and the community that like lights my soul on fire. But you guys have to decide, what is that lights your soul on fire? What are you here for? What gets you excited? What do you want to wake up to every day? And create your business around that, around the things that light you up. And then infuse that every single day. Whatever you do, do with joy. When you work from a place of stress, frustration, and fear, you delay your results. So do it with joy. Even though it's hard work, it's still fun, right? It's still fulfilling. Like all the stuff that we do as Beachbody coaches, except for inviting, is stuff that we should be doing every day just as human beings. We should be taking care of our nutrition. We should be working out. We should be growing our minds, right? We should be encouraging other people, the recognition piece. That's just a part of being an awesome human being, right? So you guys are doing 95% of what you should be doing already in your normal lives. 5% of it is the inviting piece, right? And you can do that with joy too. Remember, if you're doing it without expectation and you're just focusing on the other person and what you can do for them, it's not scary because it's not about you, right? We get scared because we're focused back internally on like, what's this person going to think about me? Are they going to judge me? Then again, you're focused on you. That's where the fear comes from. So just redirect that focus back to them, and it's fun. So have patience. It's going to take hard work. It's going to take consistent work, a lot of hustle, but it's going to be fun. It's going to be full of like some of the most rewarding experiences that you guys could ever hope for in your life, as long as you don't give up. And I will tell you guys just the last little piece of my story, and then I'm done. So I know we got some East Coasters in here probably, but it took me, I was about 18 months into my business and I was still a diamond coach. Most people would look at that and be like, oh, I would have probably given up. And I went from, in my first 6 months in the business, I got up to almost like $500 a week around there, give or take, depending on the week, which was building and consistent. And then you know what I did? I refocused my attention back inward, focusing on me and my Success Club points and my rank and what everybody could do for me. And I lost the vision as far as what I wanted to do for my business. And you know what happened to my income? All the way back down to almost zero at my 18-month mark. So I'm telling you guys, and I'm so passionate about teaching these things, about being patient and focusing on other people and building with joy and consistency, because I almost screwed myself out of the most incredible future that I could have ever hoped for because I lost focus. Okay, that's all I had for you guys. Done and done. Sorry for all the squirrely moments. I can't.
No, I like the squirrel. We're all like that. So thank you so much for sharing. And it's actually really interesting that you ended on what you just ended with that story, because the one question that I had for you that I wrote down as you were speaking earlier had to do with that. So what is your trick to get back to that place of focusing on others and not on the numbers and Success Club and money and yourself? Because as much as we all grow and learn and do personal development constantly, I think it is something that we constantly have to remind ourselves of and get back to. So what's your trick for that, and how did you get back to that point? And then also the second question would be, and then what are your favorite books for personal development?
Okay, great questions. So for me, and I can only answer this for what my personal experience was, but getting back to being a giver, I really had to dig back into my faith. So there were a ton of books. So these two questions will go hand in hand with each other. But I was listening to the Oprah Spiritual Network while I was I was on a run because I came home from my full-time job. I worked for over 2 years working a full-time job and building my business with kids. I forgot to mention that for you guys. I know how hard it is to be stressed for time. I get that. So I came home in a really awful mood, really annoyed that I wasn't further in my business than I was. And I went on a run and I was like, okay, I got to do my personal development and my workout at the same time, because otherwise I'm not going to get either of those done before I go back into my house. And I didn't want to rub my nasty ass mood on my kids or my husband that didn't deserve it. So I said, I'm going to handle this at the same time, ideally. And on that call, she was interviewing Wayne Dyer, who happens to now be one of my favorite authors and spiritual teachers. And he said that he used the acronym EGO, Edge God Out. And for me, that was like a moment where I literally like fell to the ground on the side of the road with cars passing me, like sobbing, because I realized that was where I lost track. Number one, I was trying to do it on my own. I wasn't empowering my team anymore. I was just trying to carry everybody. I'm like, if I could just get Success Club for everyone. And I was just like pulling people instead of elevating them and letting them lead for themselves. I was trying to carry everyone and do everything all by myself. And as soon as I surrendered, number one, to my faith, and number two, to believing that other people could do it. I don't know if you guys are leaders in this business and you guys have, a few people on your team and you've been doing this for a while, it can be tempting to say when people aren't just like getting it right away and just like taking off like rock stars, I was saying this thing to myself, why does nobody get this but me? And I just kept saying that over and over and over. And I was starting to become annoyed and resentful. And two particular traits that I'm not super familiar with or fond of. And so I heard Scotty Hobbs actually on a call, and he said the same exact words. He said, I kept saying to myself, why does nobody get this but me? And those were the vibes that I was putting out to the universe. And that was exactly what I was getting back. I got back whatever my core belief was, and my belief was nobody gets this but me. So I really dove deep back into my faith. I read a lot of Wayne Dyer books. There's another, hold on, I'm gonna stand up and grab a book. In my Facebook group that I was just telling you guys about, it's called Spiritual Girl Millionaire Life. We're reading a book by this author called Florence Scovel Shinn. I'll type it in here for you guys because I know it's small. But any of her stuff is really great, and it not only does it give you really awesome teaching points, but she gives you really specific affirmations to replace your language, because your dreams either become alive based off of what you speak into them, or they die based off of what you speak into them. So she really helps you like rephrase things, gives you affirmations, and helps you kind of retrain your subconscious to believe something new about what's possible for you and what's possible for other people. So she has some incredible stuff, and you guys are welcome to join that group and read that book with us right now. So those would be the ones that I would recommend. There's so many great personal development books, but again, it has to be what are you missing right now? Because that's what I was missing. That may not be the same thing for you. You might need something more on leadership. You might need to learn social media. But for me, I really need to just to step back in and replace what was going on up in here, because I was just defeating all of my efforts by having negative self-talk and beliefs.
Yeah, and I think that that's something that, honestly, I mean, if that's wrong, everything's wrong, and nothing will work. And so, for me, I know we're all a bunch of, huge, Gabby followers.
Love Gabby.
So, when I was even just first starting this business, I said, I actually wrote to Gabby and I said, what do you do when you have something that's amazing and you know that it can help people around you and it can change their lives, but you're so nervous about, being salesy or coming off wrong, or what they think of you and all of that stuff. And she said, be unapologetic about the service behind the business. So, I mean, guys, that's exactly what she just talked about this entire call, is taking it off you, putting it on them, thinking about how you can help them, stopping thinking about yourself. All of those thoughts that make you scared are when you're thinking about you and how it affects you, or what people are thinking of you. And one of the affirmations that I love that Gabby gives that is, I choose to see this differently. So every single time I have that creepy little weird thought come into my head that I'm not a good enough leader, or that, that I'm not attracting builders, or whatever bullshit I'm telling myself at the moment, then when I say that, it just changes it all for me. It immediately, you don't even have to know what you need to see differently, just say it. And all of a sudden it's different. So I loved your call. I don't know if you looked at the chat, Andrea, but everybody is obsessed with you. Awesome. So many great tips and insights. Just purchase the Go Giver on Audible. Oh, that's a good one too. Good focus. Great call. Wow. Incredible call. Thank you so much. Love this. Perfect timing. Awesome. Amazing. 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 Fucking loved this call. Thank you so much was one of them.
My soul sister.
So much great advice. Everybody's saying perfect timing, and I think it is perfect timing as well, which is why she's here tonight. So thank you for giving us your time and sharing.
Thank you guys
tonight. We really appreciate it. And I'll see you on your call soon.
Awesome. Yeah, next week. Thank you guys so much for letting me share with you.
Of course. Have an awesome night, guys. Take 10 amazing tips. Take it and run. All right. Adios, guys. Love you.